Todd. This is Debby Abel, and maybe we can start off with, if you remember, how did you initially get connected to Abel, and if you remember anything about your initial experience?
The answer to how I got connected, as you well know, I mean, my uncle Kyle speaks highly of you and your organization. I think at the time, I don't know if he still does, but at the time was using you guys for AT&T. And coming out of college, was looking for a job. I thought the easy path was to go get a job from Uncle Kyle, and he said, "You're not going to work here. You're going to go find something on your own." And connected me with you guys. And honestly, probably one of the best connections that's ever happened in my life, because I've been with the same company you placed me at since that day. I do remember taking the assessment, and whoever I was working with said, "Hey, if I don't," it had to be you, Debbie, I would think. "Hey, if I don't turn this over to this guy named Bob Toomey, he's gonna be really upset with me, because we don't see people do that well in their assessment very often." So I now know how important that is, because I look at those all the time now.
Well, I think you on one of our standard assessments, not necessarily the CED, you did really well on it, and
Yeah.
you were just you had all the qualifications that they were looking for. And yeah, I checked the dates. It was April 28th of 2006 when you came in, and we would love to have all of our candidates come in with the same type of you know attributes that you came in with. So do you remember anything about how you were treated?
I do remember that being a great experience. It felt like they actually cared about trying to make sure I found a not only a good job but a good fit. I felt like somebody was in my corner, I guess. Where, hey, this is meaningful to them, that they find a good fit. It wasn't just like, hey, I'm going to try to find you a job and I don't really care if it works out or not.
Well, we don't want to try the square peg in the round hole.
Yeah, right. Doesn't work out, right.
It's you know our goal is enduring matches. Was there anything that happened in the initial experience that was what you expected, or something that you didn't expect?
I guess I didn't have super high expectations, if I'm being honest. I think, a lot of people talk about recruiting firms and agencies, and it's not always the most welcoming thing. It's a transactional thing. So I don't think I had super high expectations, but I would say that you guys exceeded that, again, because it felt like, a family that cared about the people they were trying to place.
Thank you. So now let's talk about the outcome. Maybe the short term, maybe talk about the start on your job, and then we can go to long term and what's happened to you in the intervening years.
I started at that location in Harrisburg that, is probably less than 2 miles from where your office was at the time. Not too far down the road off of 19th Street, in the management training program for CD. Man, you said end of April. I think I started by like mid to late May, so pretty quick turnaround.
May 31st.
Started the training program there. I worked in that office until October of 2007. And excelled there. Made some lifelong friends there, actually, to this day, which is pretty cool. But what felt like a much longer period of time, when I look back on it, was really only like 14 or 15 months. Much faster than we put through most of our trainees today. And then got moved to Ohio and started building some businesses, and have continued along that path since.
So how many places have you lived with in your journey with CED?
So I've probably had, I don't know, 6 or 7 different roles.
You have two locations, or under your supervision right now?
So right now I have 23 across 7 states. So I ended up getting Bob Toomey's job ultimately when he retired. So it's crazy that connection that you made ended up being a mentor of mine. Phased himself out 3 years ago. I got half of his job while he was still doing the other half, and kind of in his last year with the company. And then when he fully retired, I got his entire responsibility, plus a little bit extra that I always had that he never had.
What can you say about the difference it's made in your life?
Yeah, life altering, right? It's been a steady job for 18 years, constant growth, both professionally, challenging mentally, and then, and financially rewarding. So I pretty much, everything I have is because of that connection that was made back in 2006. It's wild. As you get older, you start to think about those moments in time that really shape you or change the trajectory. If I don't cross paths with you guys, and probably never cross paths with this company, that's been a mainstay for me, and has allowed me to have some awesome experiences, and have a very very stable, satisfying life.
It's yeah, it's really like filling my heart to hear your story, to tell you the truth,
Oh, that's awesome.
because
Yeah.
it's just we know what happens, when things start, but we don't necessarily know the journey that happens after people get started. We say we want to make matches that are enduring, and put
Yeah.
put some people in a place where there's an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to have good things happen for themselves.
You
Um,
got this. You got this one right. Because, man, I'll tell you, I was full of ambition and full of drive. I still am, but back then you're younger, a little more fired up. But I can remember taking that job thinking, I'll be here for a couple of years. They'll teach me some things, and I'll go do something else. But they've made it so good, that thought almost never creeps in, and every once in a while when it does, they do something that's like, man, I can't believe that just happened. Like, this is great. We're gonna keep down this path. So yeah, you got this one right for sure.